Well, it does look like Kamala peaked a little bit too early. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got internal polling, internal data telling us that Trump is looking better and better over the past few days. The hype is dying down significantly, and we do have Trump taking control of the situation against Harris, who initially challenged him because she was desperate to get on the debate stage, and Trump has said now, yeah, you're going to debate me on Fox News on September 4th, which is about a week before he was scheduled to debate Biden on the 10th. And so we would expect that debate to happen, considering the first debate on CNN, more liberal network. You get the second debate on Fox News, and I would think there potentially could be a third debate, although right now that is still unknown. But we do have some news here. Let's take a look. What a weird thing here. Joe Biden coming out. Let's see what good old Joe has to say. This was yesterday.
You're stuck with me as president for a while, kid. There's no way out, okay? You got me for at least another 100 or 90 days or so.
You're stuck with me for a while. Wait, isn't it more than 90 days? Because the next president doesn't take over until January, so Biden doesn't even know how long he's going to continue to serve. But I just thought it was a weird thing. You're stuck with me. There's no way out. I can understand you saying you're stuck with me as kind of like a joke, but saying there's no way out is very strange. A massive protest is happening on Capitol Hill demanding illegals receive the right to vote. And yes, this is what they want. I don't understand. What do people think the end game is here? I just saw a crazy graph, and I want to do a separate video on it. This is why they want 10 million, 20 million, 30 million illegals in the country. They need it. When you look at the population shift, California is probably going to lose around 4 electoral votes by 2030. Texas is going to gain 4. New York is going to lose 3. Oregon is going to lose 1. All of the SEC states are going to gain electoral votes. It's going to be a Republican trouncing by 2030 because of horrible Democrat leadership in these states. People have to flee them, so they have to replace it because of their incompetence with illegal immigrants. And you've got all these white liberals out there admitting and saying, and this is admitted, they're marching for it. They want illegal immigrants to vote. They say if they're in the country, if they're contributing to the United States, this is what they're saying. They deserve the right to vote. So first they say illegals aren't voting. Then they say, no, we're not going to pass the SAVE Act. And now they're saying, wait, we need them voting because they contribute to society. So this is what they're saying. This is their point. Why would Kamala Harris want a good border? They need the people imported into the country because of the redistribution of electoral votes by 2030 because of their terrible state leadership. So this has all come out now. And I mean, they're admitting here. This is what, let's see what they say.
I think illegal immigrants should be able to vote.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're paying taxes and you're putting money into the economy for a country that you've lived at for over a decade, yes, I think you should have a voice.
Or like a month.
In the people that are making rules on their life.
You kick us out, you better get a seat right next to us and buckle up. Because it's all of us or none of us.
You kick us out, they illegally entered. They're not legally in the country. So if they're illegal, you kick them. I mean, this is just, but listen, again, none of this is actually, we support all people. We just want them into the country. If these illegals were voting conservative at an 80% clip, they wouldn't be in this country. They would have a ridiculously strong border. It's so disgusting how they just use these illegal immigrants as political pawns, and they play dress up and say, well, no, it's because we just want, they're in the country, they need representation. It's not because we're losing all the electoral votes in California and everything like that. We're going to get trampled by 2030. That's not the real reason. No. I mean, they're admitting they want illegals voting. They're admitting it. How is this any type of, you're talking about the border, which is horrible right now. If we elect a Democrat, and I mean, a lot of the Democrats obviously want that to happen. They want as many illegals into the country. It's for voting incentive. This is a very simple concept. So that's what they want. And certainly if I was a liberal, I would want, even if it disenfranchises Americans and you put all these people in these hotels, the illegals in the hotels, you've got Americans living on the street. Remember the guilt trip that lady tried to use? I did a video on it 3 weeks ago. How dare you? These people are trying to flee. I understand, but this is not Disney World. We've got plenty of natural American, United States born citizens that do not have a roof over their head, things like that. Why don't we invest into our own country? Are illegals, worth more than Americans? And they would say, well, they're the same. I don't agree with that. I believe in the United States being number one. That's the main disagreement we're going to have when it comes to these people. They think, well, if you ship anyone in, they deserve the exact same, moral rights, even if they're illegal, as a normal American, even if it disenfranchises Americans who are currently homeless. So you can swing the little bullshit guilt trip back onto them when they say, you don't want, these people are fleeing from war and everything like that. Well, I understand that. There's a lot of really bad places. Can they go to another place outside of the United States? And if you say, well, no, they can't, well, then what about all the citizens that are disenfranchised that were born in the United States? We should just throw them aside and allow these illegals, because that's what's happening. The illegals go into hotels, and they actually have to change the hotels. They have to take the name branding hotel off. This has happened in Boston and other cities, major cities, where they go from 4-star hotels to illegal encampments. And it's like, this is ridiculous. Why is this a thing in a first world country? Well, it's a thing because there's a big incentive to getting these people legalized and registered to vote. And that's what they're going to do. That's going to be the main game plan. They might stop the border flow a little bit if Harris gets in, but their big strategy is going to be about the 10 to 12 million that Biden has brought in, getting them legalized, getting them at least on a pathway to citizenship. That's what Elizabeth Warren said. She admitted it. That's why it was so ridiculous. Why would she say that? But she admitted that, yes, we want them to have a pathway to citizenship. That's an extra, a lot of votes there. We're losing it right now because of how bad our leadership is in states. It's causing a lot of people to flee the states. And it's crazy how many electoral votes California is going to be losing if this continues by 2030. So they need to supplement it and replace it and bring the population back up with the illegal migrants. That's the goal. Remember, this goes back to 2016. Donald Trump wanted the wall. Liberals fought him on that. They said it was a waste of money. It ended up not getting fully completed. And here we are in 2024 because the overwhelming majority want stricter immigration than what the Biden administration had. You've got Kamala Harris playing make-believe and dress up and saying, we're going to have a strong border. It's absurd. You're incentivized to have a weak border because the people coming into the country that potentially will vote Democrat. So this is a very simple thing to grasp. We can replace them in Georgia. So what a headline that is. That's hilarious. We've got, what is this here? Oh, Mark Cuban coming out. Yeah, this is hilarious. So Mark Cuban, this is about the border, has said that she will sign this partisan border bill. She's the only candidate to commit to a detailed border security plan. Oh my God, she's got a plan. She's so much more tough on the border than Trump, you idiot. Jesus Christ. No, because she's got a plan. Trump only wanted to build a massive wall. And I mean, Trump had the policy, return to Mexico. If you got an illegal immigrant in the United States, they go back. You don't give them a random court date 6 months from now and allow them to roam free. That's the Biden policy. But this guy gaslights and says, she's got a border policy. Trump doesn't have one. Well, no, Trump wants the return to Mexico, remain in Mexico to come back, and it's not a catch and release situation in the United States. This is something that Democrats released. This is one of their ads they released on like a commercial for TV, and it's called White Rage. We will always support minorities. That's what the ad is about, and it's just a bunch of. I mean, it's supposed to be uplifting. Let's see what they're at. Let's see what this ad is. This is a Democrat ad. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a compilation. Imagine if that was an ad they released called "We Will Stand with Minorities." I gotta put that on mute. We will stand with minorities, and it's just a bunch of white. And then Thomas Crooks. No, it's not really Thomas Crooks, but people thought it was that video. We've got Real Clear Politics average updated 95 days to election day. Trump sitting at around plus 1.2. A slight dip for sure, but still way ahead of 2020 or 2016. And this puts into perspective right now, Donald Trump looking very good. You can see number of days until the election, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95. 2016, let's compare. Clinton, this is just the pure popular vote average. Clinton was plus around 6.5. Biden was almost plus 8. And you can see the numbers went down for both of them. We'll see what happens with Trump. I will say I'm not sure this is fully. Oh no, this is because it's just the last week. So yeah, Trump's sitting plus 1.2, a lot better. There's some data that says Kamala Harris has already peaked at this point, and some internal data from Rasmussen, even though they are a Republican pollster. You can see some of the recent polls, very close numbers, but still the overall point is. This is the data I was talking about. According to Rasmussen, Donald Trump has survived the Kamala bounce and steadily is growing his lead again. I'm trying to find where the actual thing was. So yeah, I guess this was the Kamala hype here, at least according to Rasmussen. Trump has since, I think this is just what is this, a general popular vote or a likability or something? No, I think it's just a general popular vote maybe. But yeah, you can see the overall data right there. This is Kamala peaking a little bit too early. I don't think she's going to get much of a bump at the DNC, and now you're seeing Republicans start the attacks against Josh Shapiro, which obviously was going to happen. I mean, we can sit here and speculate a week ago and say Josh Shapiro is this perfect candidate, but when he starts getting attacked, things change pretty significantly, and that's already happened, and there's already been numbers that have come out, I believe from 538, that have said the advantage that Shapiro is going to give Harris is very minute, even in Pennsylvania, maybe like half a point, maybe a point, which could make a difference in terms of because the state's so close. But if Trump's up by 3, maybe he only wins it by 2.4 with Shapiro. It makes virtually no difference if that's the case in Pennsylvania. So this is not going to be something where I don't think it will be where Harris goes up, by 5 or 6 consistently in Pennsylvania because Shapiro is the pick. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of hype surrounding it, and it does look like Shapiro. It was like leaked yesterday that it was going to be Shapiro or something, and I don't know what Polymarket is. The last time I saw it, it was around a 77% chance it was going to be Shapiro. August 1st prediction. Let's see what this dude has. He's got Trump at 322. I would say Minnesota probably not. I'd say probably not on Minnesota. But other than that, yeah, this is pretty realistic, honestly. Maine at large. Oh, no, that's not Maine at large. That's just the district. But yeah, outside of Minnesota, I could see Trump at 312, 322 would be a pretty bullish prediction right now. The Senate, yeah, I don't think this is going to happen. 57? No, it's not going to happen, man. I would say Arizona especially not. And then also these Rust Belt states, the Senate's not looking great for conservatives right now, but we will see. Ohio being a dark red, that's pretty interesting there. Here it is, Donald Trump. I have agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala on Wednesday, the 4th of September. The debate was previously scheduled against Biden on ABC, but it has terminated with Biden no longer being a participant. And I am in litigation with George Stephanopoulos, thereby creating a conflict of interest. The Fox News debate will be held in the greater Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and apparently there will be a full arena audience. So we'll see if Harris accepts it. This is Donald Trump trying to take back the narrative against Harris, who initially challenged him, and that is a good job by Trump. This is really what I was talking about, and I think I might do it another video. Republican won seats. This is just looking at if Harris, this is like a great scenario for her, winning all of the Rust Belt, winning Minnesota, Virginia, Maine, and winning the election by 2 electoral votes. But it's going to shift. You can see the Democratic won seats here are going to lose 14 electoral votes in 2032, while Republican won seats are going to gain 14. So this election would almost be like a blowout, with Trump losing all of the Rust Belt in 2032 if the demographic shifts continue, if the population losses in California, and also some of the Rust Belts continue. It's going to be a total blowout. So they have to get the illegals into the country. It's very important. This is interesting because, they talk about Elon Musk liking Trump and why he's voting for Trump, but Lex Freeman in this says that he's going to be interviewing Trump. So this is big news. Lex Freeman, huge podcast guy. Some people think he's a little bit, maybe a little boring, but I do like Lex, especially an interview with Trump. It should be good. Definitely not going to be, like an interview with Rogan, but still should be good. I wonder if Trump's going to do this podcast that he certainly would be open to doing Rogan, possibly at a later date, maybe a few weeks, a month before the election, holding off on that a little bit, trying to get some good propaganda before the election, because there are rumors that Taylor Swift is going to be having a concert. I mean, this is what these people have to do. They have to use pop stars. Remember, they say they're like they're intellectually superior, they're so much smarter. Well, then why do they have to bribe voters with pop stars who shake their ass? And I'm not saying Taylor Swift does. I mean, I guess Taylor Swift does do that, but just in general, how does that add up? If you're this party of acceptance and great, why do you have to bribe people with celebrities shaking their ass to get votes? Isn't that a little bit backwards, do you think? Of course, they don't care, but there might be a big Taylor Swift concert, I'm just saying, possibly right before the election to try and get people to vote for Harris. It's not going to work. I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I don't think it is, but if it does happen, Trump is going to go on a lot of these podcasts, and this should really help him out, you would think. But we've also got this. What is this? F the white women, according to a recent Cliff service showing two prominent black women for Kamala. I thought white women were for Kamala. So they're racist against white women that are for Kamala. That's interesting. But yeah, guys, so that's basically going to do it. It does seem like Trump is holding off the surge. He's got a big rally in Georgia tonight, in Atlanta. That's going to be big, especially after the one that Harris just had. And we will see what ends up happening. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.